Relax for a moment. Grab a coffee or tea or whatever helps you sit still long enough to notice something strange about your own experience. And if you enjoy these deep dives into how reality actually reaches your mind, make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who's ever said, "Wait, did I really just see that?" Now, look around you. The room, the screen, the light. It all feels immediate, instant, as if what you're seeing is happening right now. But it isn't. In fact, you never experience reality in real time, not even close. What you experience is a prediction, a carefully constructed guess your brain makes about what should be happening before the information even finishes arriving. And once you realize that, reality becomes negotiable. Let's start with something simple. Light takes time to travel. Sound takes time. Neural signals take time. Your brain is slow, astonishingly slow by computational standards. It takes roughly 100 to 200 milliseconds for sensory information to travel from your eyes to the visual cortex and be processed into something you consciously experience. That's a fifth of a second. Which means if your brain waited patiently for raw data to arrive, you'd be living permanently in the past. You'd miss balls thrown at your head. You'd miss timed steps. You'd fail to catch anything. So your brain cheats. It predicts. Instead of asking, "What am I seeing?" your brain asks, "What am I about to see?" And then it shows you that. This idea is called predictive processing, and it changes everything. According to this framework, perception is not passive reception, it's active inference. Your brain constantly generates hypotheses about the world, then checks incoming data against those guesses. If the data matches the prediction, nothing changes. If it doesn't, your brain updates the model, which means most of the time, what you see is not the data itself, it's the brain's best guess. Now let's make this concrete. Have you ever misread a word only to realize it later? Your eyes didn't fail. Your brain auto-completed. Based on context, you saw what you expected to see. And expectation is everything. In fact, experiments show that when expectations are strong enough, your brain will override sensory input entirely. There are visual illusions where people literally cannot see what's in front of them because it contradicts the brain's prediction too strongly. This isn't stupidity, it's efficiency. Your brain evolved in an environment where prediction was more useful than precision. Seeing a vague predator quickly was better than seeing a perfect one too late. So the brain favors speed over accuracy, and it still does. Now let's talk about time. When you clap your hands, you see the movement and hear the sound as synchronized, but they're not. Sound travels much slower than light. Your brain compensates. It delays visual perception slightly so both sensations line up, which means what you experience as now is already edited. Your brain is buffering reality like a video stream. Now, here's where things get unsettling. This prediction doesn't just fill gaps, it creates experience. In some cases, your brain shows you things that never existed. Take the color of objects. Color is not a property of the world, it's a construct. Wavelengths of light hit your retina. Your brain interprets them based on lighting conditions, surrounding colors, and prior experience. This is why this same object can look like different colors under different lighting conditions, and why everyone argued about that infamous dress. Your brain didn't misinterpret reality, it generated a different prediction. Now, apply this logic to more complex experiences. Faces. Your brain has dedicated hardware for faces. It predicts face-like patterns so aggressively that it finds faces in clouds, outlets, and toast. This is called pareidolia. Your brain would rather hallucinate a face than miss a real one. False positives are cheaper than false negatives, which tells you something crucial. Your perception is biased toward meaning, not truth. Now let's push further. Motion. When you see something moving, your brain doesn't wait for it to arrive at a new position. It extrapolates its trajectory. This is why you can catch a ball. You're not reacting to where the ball is, you're acting on where your brain predicts it will be, which means your actions are aligned with a future that hasn't happened yet. You are always slightly ahead of reality. Now let's consider a strange experiment. If researchers delay visual feedback from your own hand movement by just a fraction of a second, people report that the hand feels foreign, as if it's not theirs. Agency collapses because ownership depends on prediction. Your brain predicts what your body should do. When feedback doesn't match, the model breaks, which suggests something disturbing. Your sense of self is also a prediction. You don't experience yourself directly, you experience your brain's model of you, and that model is constantly updated. Now let's connect this to hallucinations. In conditions like schizophrenia, the balance between prediction and sensory input shifts. Predictions become too strong. Incoming data becomes secondary. The brain trusts its internal model more than the world. Hallucinations are not random noise, they are overconfident predictions, which means hallucination and perception are not opposites. There are points on the same spectrum. One is just more constrained by data. Now, think about dreams. Dreams are pure prediction, no sensory input, just the brain running its world model offline. And dreams feel real, which should scare you because it means your sense of reality doesn't require reality. It requires coherence. Now let's talk about learning. When you learn something new, your brain isn't adding facts, it's updating predictions. This is why learning feels uncomfortable. Prediction error hurts. Your brain hates being wrong, but being wrong is how the model improves, which means confusion is not failure, it's progress. Now zoom out. If your brain is constantly predicting reality, then your beliefs matter. Beliefs shape predictions. Predictions shape perception. Perception shape experience. This is why two people can witness the same event and see entirely different things, not metaphorically, neurologically. Your brain's prior assumptions filter reality before it reaches awareness, which means objectivity is harder than we think. Now, let's bring technology back into this. Algorithms feed you content based on predicted preferences. That content shapes beliefs. Beliefs shape predictions. Predictions shape perception. Reality becomes personalized, not by changing the world, but by changing expectations, which means you're not just living in different information bubbles, you're living in different perceptual worlds. Now here's the most unsettling implication. If perception is prediction and prediction can be manipulated, then reality can be nudged, not forcibly, subtly, by altering priors. This is why framing matters, headlines matter, repetition matters. Say something enough times and it becomes easier for the brain to predict. Easier predictions feel more true. This is called the fluency effect. Truth feels smooth, falsehood feels effortful, and smoothness is a property of processing, not accuracy. Now pause, because this doesn't mean reality is fake. It means your access to it is mediated. Always has been, always will be. But awareness gives you leverage. When you know your brain is guessing, you become more cautious about certainty. You start questioning your intuitions. You slow down. And slowing down gives sensory data more influence over prediction. Mindfulness, attention training, and deliberate observation all work by reducing prediction dominance. They increase resolution, which makes reality feel richer, longer, more detailed. Time slows, not because the world changes, but because your brain stops skipping frames. So let's end with a strange thought. You've never seen the world directly, but you've never needed to. Your brain's predictions are good enough to keep you alive, most of the time. The danger isn't that your brain predicts, it's that you forget it's doing so. Because once you believe you're seeing reality as it is, you stop updating, and outdated predictions are how minds and societies get stuck. If this made you question what it really means to see, take a moment to like the video, share it, and leave a comment. Because the strangest thing about reality isn't that your brain predicts it, it's that most of the time, the prediction works so well you never notice.